Thanks for the nice introduction. So I'm really excited to be here because my heart goes bum bum. But to be honest, of course, it's amazing to stay here on this huge stage. But the real reason is because I'm able to speak short after Michael Wu. And what he talked about is he mentioned something that's one of the most important things I think about when it comes to gamification, and that's the challenge. He mentioned a lot of other different kind of stuff, methodologies, but the core of everything, as far as I believe in it, is engaging activities are always challenging. So when I was asked to speak here today, I thought, of course, I would love to, and I thought, okay, what kind of case or methodology can we introduce you to? And then after visiting a lot of other conferences, talking them, I thought about, okay, no, I won't stay here today and talk about a case. I'm happy, of course, to do that afterwards. But there's something that's really important for me, annoying me a lot, and I think that's the reason why our industry, the gamification industry, so far has a little bit of, it stops to progress a little bit. And this is what I want to talk today about. It's really something I'm really passionate about. So the point is, if you ask different kind of experts, people, about the definition of gamification, probably you won't learn anything about it. But you will learn a lot about the people themselves. You will learn a lot about what are they motivated by, what do they think about rewards, points, badges, leaderboards, reward programs, rankings, what do they think about intrinsic motivation, extrinsic motivation, what are they passionate about, and so on. So you will learn amazing stuff about the people themselves. So actually, next time you're sitting in a bar and you want to know more about the beautiful girl sitting next to you, just ask her about gamification. But don't ask her if she want to earn something by playing with you. That's a bad idea, believe me. So the point is, or the interesting fact is, that we won't put up with a bad game for 3 seconds, and we will recognize a good one just as quickly. It is something we have been able to do since we were toddlers, and we are addicted to play games in one form or another, whatever, ever since. But if we are hardwired to spot a bad game immediately, why is it so difficult for us to use or to find the unifying gamification definition that unifies all of us working so passionate about this kind of topic? The problem is, or I think, in my honest opinion, the difficulty is that it's really easy to get started with gamification, but it's so hard to master it. And I think that, unfortunately, only the term gamification was popularized, but not the science behind it or the context. So it's no surprise that we tend to be utterly oblivious to the fact that beneath all these engaging activities that we like to do voluntarily, there's an intricate mesh of interconnected elements underlying them and allowing these kind of activities to be built with seemingly effortless precision. This often leads us into thinking that we know exactly what got us hooked. We think about badges, points, rewards, and so on, when in fact, despite that these features are really powerful in and of themselves, they are just secondary or even third grade. Because there's something that underlies all of these features, secretly bringing them to life. And this is called learning. In every second, our brain is noticing, deciding, and analyzing if there's something irrelevant happening around us, like, let's say, the sky is still blue, or if there's something that needs our immediate attention, something relevant, like an unknown sound. But what's your brain's criterion to decide if we can keep daydreaming or if it's demanding our immediate attention? There's only one goal for our brain, and this is survival. As Charles Darwin has already said it, it's not the smartest, not the fastest, not the strongest species that is able to survive. It's the one that is most adaptable to change. And being able to adapt to changes is nothing else than learning. And now think about it. Think about games that you really love to play, that you really like doing very often. There's always some kind of challenge behind it. There's always some kind of obstacle where you need to learn to become better, to overcome this obstacle. If that wouldn't be the case, you would get bored and quit. Or think about other activities, like sports and hobbies. These are also game-like activities. There again, we have these obstacles, these challenges. Without them, we wouldn't keep doing them. The point is, we are hardwired to learn. We are evolutionarily built for progress. So activities that we love, like sports, games, hobbies, and so on, are created around the need to become better and to get smarter by doing them. Here we always want to master a given challenge. And this is exactly, from my point of view, what's the problem with 90% of gamification approaches, projects, and so on. Because they are always focusing on the secondary elements, like how can I reward you for doing something that you actually don't want to do. But they are always missing the primary feature, learning. How can I help you to become better? How can I create a path to mastery for you, for the user, by doing it? So, by the way, don't get me wrong. I think that the gamification industry has had a huge impact in different kind of varieties and industries. Thanks to people like Gabe Sickerman, Jane McGonigal, Michael Wu, Marie Raftopoulos, and many more, the word of gamification and the potential has been spread around the world, and a lot of industries and organizations now know about them. We all know that some of them are already here, and we have listened to Michael Wu already, we have listened to Marie Raftopoulos. There are other amazing people, very passionate people like Andrew Machewski, for example. So please give them a hand again for doing all these kind of efforts. Yeah.
Hey, come on, Mr. Nice Guy. You can shake hands later on. Do you know that we are all here on a mission?
We are on a mission?
We are on a mission. Give me that. So, you're losing that.
We are on a mission.
Yeah. So it's about points and badges. So come on. Hey, here's a badge for you. You're standing on stage.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah. Awesome.
There's no achievement. So I've got more badges. Rewards. Some for Michael. He's sitting in the first row.
He earned it.
Great job. And sitting second row. 2 rewards. Even much harder, right? So, and you're still on stage?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's another one for you.
That was a hard job.
And do you know what? Now the best is coming. The ace. I think that's for me.
Okay. What's the ace for?
I don't know. Maybe I'm the best looking person around here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On stage?
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Okay. Yes, then you earned it. You're number 1. Congrats.
Yeah.
You're top on the leaderboard between the two of us.
Hard job. I mean, what has been the challenge? You? Look at you, so that was not a challenge.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Okay, I take it as a compliment, thanks. So it was too easy for you?
Yeah. That's what I want to say.
That's the point. I think he's right, actually. The point is, if it's too easy to win something, to be on top of the leaderboard, it doesn't mean anything for you. You know you only won because the others were so bad. So what's the challenge? What's the meaning behind that? This is why games have to endure, that there's always some kind of meaningful progress.
No. Do you know what's lame? To just get points for just something. Or to win in the end without being challenged before. That sucks.
That's right. So as Sebastian did,
do you know what's the big mess about? To just put a fucking game layer on something you would have done anyway, exactly the same way, and then you call it gamification. You're locked in, Roman. Great. I know you're 34, but you're locked in. Good job.
You finished now?
Yeah.
Okay, so as Sebastian Deterting said,
No,
it's
I mean, honestly, you're creating companies, and then you're hiring people and want them to solve some problems.
sure we do, right?
And then you tell them to compete for the fucking #1 spot. And
Yeah,
suddenly,
doesn't make sense. Yeah.
suddenly, the communication is going bad. The collaboration is going bad. And then you're whining, Mr. Brain.
Okay, you're right. Yeah. So as Sebastian Deterting says it, if that really would be the case, yeah, if you really would be motivated by winning easily, the most amazing game in the world would be a red buzzer staying in front of you on the table, and every time you push it, you're getting points. Amazing. You're winning. And it's really easy. You don't need any kind of skills.
No skills at all.
No, it's just pushing the button.
You mean no skills for a game? We don't have to do anything heavy.
This easy, yes.
Great game. That should be your game, Roman.
What?
Yeah.
Hey. But listen, that's the same thing we are experiencing every time when we go shopping. I go into shop, I pay some money, oh, what a challenge.
Whoa.
And then I'm getting rewarded.
Or
I'm
you
getting
get
points.
mayor at Starbucks. Good job.
For example.
So you're starting again the green stamp thing again. Like in the grocery shops or corner shops more than 100 years ago. Do you know when they released it the first time?
When?
1900. Just for you in slow. 1900, okay?
The first
And
loyalty
now
program.
you're doing exactly the same thing, just in a digital way, and then you call it gamification? Good job. So, I mean, when have you said to yourself, I want to earn some points again, I'm greedy for points, let's play Monopoly or Risk? You know what, I think you're lost. I've got enough of that. Bye-bye.
So I think he's right, isn't he? The big difference between loyalty programs and games is that by being engaged or by participating within a loyalty program, actually getting the points, that's the game. But within a game, it's never the goal to earn the points. Points are just some kind of feedback system to show you meaningful progress. You never play a game only because you say, well, I need to get some points. It's always about, I want to find out how I can get that, how I finally get the solution, how I can overcome the obstacle. That's the point. The thing is, if there's a dull activity and you're incentivizing the dull activity, the activity is still dull. You didn't change anything. And just by digitalizing old green stamps now, you don't change anything and it's nothing new. So the point is there that we already learned, it's not the problem of a game, or the point is not to earn points into the game, but to be challenged and to want to overcome the obstacle. So unfortunately, I already said it, only the terminology gamification was popularized, but not the science behind that. And thanks to people that I have already mentioned, we are getting the word out into the world. But unfortunately, they are outnumbered so far by thousands of people selling damn products that have only some kind of virtual points in it, or they integrated a virtual world, and suddenly they say, hey, that's gamification, that's what's really interesting. This is only the thing that we can see on the screen. There's something deeper behind that. There's a science behind that. Let me tell you one thing. Games weren't invented by the entertainment industry. Games have been with the human beings since we humans are on Earth. And there was no digital stuff, no screens. That's not the point why games are so engaging. And if we don't think about the science behind that, we won't come up with great gamification solutions, or we won't change anything about how we think the people needs to be motivated. So far we are still, or over the last centuries, 3 centuries, we started to think about, okay, let's take carrots and stick to motivate people. And now organizations are learning that that's not working anymore. Yeah, the job description changed. We need other kinds of motivations to be able to fit in these new job descriptions. And just by digitalizing carrots and sticks, we won't change anything. The best example for this mix-up, bringing everything, mixing everything up together, is that we don't differentiate between gamification, serious games, game-based learning, simulations, reward programs, and so on. We say that's all the same. The point is that let's take a serious game, for example. Let's take Foldit. Who knows Foldit? The famous serious game. The point is, what's being done there is we are taking a real challenge and putting it into a game. So by sitting down actually and playing the game, you're solving a real-world problem. That's amazing. But you're sitting down actually and you're playing a game. So you are within a game context. And we all say the whole day, sure, the definition of gamification is using game thinking in non-game context. And at the same time we say, sure, serious game is gamification. It doesn't fit actually. And if we don't differentiate better, if we know better about the differences, when to use what kind of tool, serious game, game-based learning, gamification, we won't come up with the right solution for the given problem. And we won't take into account the different advantages and disadvantages of all these different kind of features. I believe really in the power of gamification, and I think we can do something amazingly here by looking deeper into what gets people to progress, to learn, and so on. The point is that only by digitalizing rewards or thinking that people need to be motivated by rewards, that's the wrong way. And this is something, we heard it, we have this kind of motivational stuff since the beginning of the 1900s. As the green stamps. My grandma already got green stamps. Awesome. The number one law of evolution is evolve or die. And games make us evolve every time you play them. Think about that, why that is the case. Think about that. So, the story behind gamification is the story behind a startling, simple observation. People love to be challenged and love to experience progress. That's the secret behind game-like activities. The future will show if we as a community are able to produce activities, designs that are able to help people to experience meaning, challenge, satisfaction within a business environment. That's the task, that's the mission of gamification, and not how can we entertain the people like we did over the last 300 centuries. Thanks.